This is a big one. Megyn Kelly goes off. She unleashes on the trans movement, or the trans agenda, some of us would call it, the push that's been going on in the media and the billboards with the kids and the this and the that. We've seen it quite a bit the past 3 years. We've been seeing more and more and more of it. And Megyn Kelly has tried to be somebody who's compassionate, trying to be accepting. But recently, she was seen wearing a hat that said, make women female again. That's what the hat said. And it was styled like a MAGA hat. Obviously, today's social media climate, a lot of people took to social media. They got very upset. But in actuality, from what I saw when I saw this posted, tons of people loved it. And apparently, when they found out where the hat was from, they crashed the site with how many orders they made for the hat. So there was a lot of people who loved this hat. But obviously, there's always a small majority of people who are screaming and crying, and they're upset and their feelings and everything like that on the left. More than likely. I mean, I don't want to pinpoint people, but more than likely. And she's had enough. She's had enough. She went on her show. She went on a rant, and it's epic. Let's get into it. But before that, you know what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the store. It's the Soul Not For Sale store. That's what I like to call it. We got hoodies. We got shirts. We got t-shirts. We got women's V-necks, and we got mugs. If you're in the USA, we got a free shipping code for you. It is Free Ship USA. I'm going to give it to you right at the beginning so you can make an order while you're watching this video. But you know why we have the store? It helps us. They limit our videos. I'm pretty sure they're going to limit this one after I just said what I said, and I'm going to play what I'm going to play. So we do that to combat it so the channel can still make some kind of revenue. But other than that, let's get right into the video because this was great. Here she is. This is her unleashing on the whole trans movement.
Oh, misogynistic comments about Megyn and her friend Joelle. Oh, people bringing up blackface. This is the reporter at Mediaite trying to work out his issues. Let me remind you of the things that make her look bad, okay? That's fun, because 90% of the comments were pro the hat. But this is what happens, right? People need in the media to tear you down if you take a stand. It's not dissimilar from what Tucker was saying the other day about how if you buck the party rule, if you speak the truth, it's liberating, but of course you will be attacked. I don't care. I couldn't care less. Go ahead and attack me. Call me whatever you want. He also pointed out that Kelly J. Keene has embraced the term TERF, trans exclusionary radical feminist, though the truth is she doesn't really consider herself a feminist for the same reason many of us don't. You can call me that too. I don't care. I don't care. We talked about trans exclusionary. I am trans exclusionary when it comes to women's bathrooms and women's lockers and women's swimming lanes and sports and places that are supposed to belong to women, because trans women are not women. They're men, okay? So I am trans exclusionary to that extent. I have empathy in my heart for the difficult situation that the people who genuinely suffer from gender dysphoria are going through, but not for these glommers like Dylan Mulvaney, who I believe is faking it to get attention. No, zero empathy for somebody like that. That's where I am. I'm going to wear the hat. I got a great shirt I'm going to bring to you later this week. I love Kelly J. Keene's website. We've been in touch. I paid for all my gear. I didn't ask her for free stuff just because she came on my show. But I think I might be getting some because we basically crashed her website with all of the signups. My point is, look, I wore the hat down there because I'm sick of all the bullshit. I'm sick of denying women's rights in the name of sparing people's feelings. Women are getting raped in prisons, all right? We had 4 teenage girls in 9th grade out in Wisconsin who had a guy whip out his penis in the women's locker room, the girls' locker room. It is embarrassing enough to have to swim when you're in your teenage years as a woman, as a girl, during school. The last thing you need to see is a penis coming at you in the showers after the pool, okay? So I'm done. I don't care about the feelings anymore. I care about women, care about girls. I care about their feelings. That's who I'm fighting for. And when I wore the hat down there, a lot of liberals in our group, a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but a couple conservatives. One woman from Canada was unbelievable. Her 92-year-old mother, I can't remember how old she said she was, who had been more conservative in Canada, had been saying all along, this is bullshit. Women are women, blah, blah, blah. And the younger daughter, closer to my age, had been saying, Mom, be nice, be kind. Well, she's turned now because of all this nonsense. So while I thought maybe some of the group would be like, that hat. No, you know what happened? Virtually all the women in the group were like, I need that hat. And that was the reaction online. Virtually everyone who saw that picture said, I need that hat. So much so that the comments below the posts on Instagram and Twitter, you know how like these merchandise makers, they can quickly make a hat because if they think they're going to make $1, they'll be like, come here and buy the hat that says this. Don't do it there. Go to Kelly J. Keene's website, which I'll mention. I can't remember off the top of my head. Steve, get it to me so I can say this segment. So much so that some of these merch makers started making the happy birthday Yael hat because it was just like people were going so nuts over the hats. So these opportunistic merch makers were like, maybe they really love the black hat. It's unclear. The point is, say it loud, say it proud. You might think that you're in the minority, but you're not, especially on this issue, which has crossed party lines. Women are still women. Women are female. We're the only ones who are female. And while you can be empathetic toward the social difficulties of somebody who says they're gender dysphoric or who says they don't think they were wrong and born in the wrong body, we can all draw a hard line on them coming into our spaces. We're not going to be threatened by some lunatic who wants to blow us up with his gun like we saw last week. We're not going to have some allegedly trans person whipping out his penis in front of our 14-year-old daughters post-swimming. We're not going to continue to sit by and let female prisoners get raped where they're literally unable to escape their circumstances. And we are going to speak out, no matter what you call us. TERF, transphobe, bring up, things that allegedly make us look bad. Do it. Do it. I'm not afraid of you. And millions of people feel exactly the same way I do.
Whoa. She is not playing around. And you know what? Honestly, what you're seeing right now, this is a good woman who's been pushed to the edge. That's all it is. Like she said, she's been trying to spare people's feelings and be accepting here and there, but she wore a hat and she got put on a cross because her hat, and it resembled this and it said that, and it was just too much for her. And honestly, I mean, this, even beyond the topic, I just love that she's willing to actually say this stuff. She's willing to actually just say it out loud. This is how she feels. This is what she thinks, and she wants to say it out, and she should be able to. She should be able to. There's people on the other side of this debate who get to say what they think constantly, right? And they're part of a protected class of people, protected section of people. Women should be protected as well. Women like her should be protected as well. They should be able to say whatever they want to say. It's freedom of speech. The best thing for us is to hear what she has to say. We've heard what the side supporting all of this has to say. We've heard that. Now we get to hear a different side. And her arguments are pretty good. She's not sitting back saying all sorts of ignorant rhetoric. She's just saying, listen, locker rooms, young girls having to see genitalia, it's too much. And I agree with that. I really do. I couldn't imagine, like, for young boys, it's all funny. Young boys, they're in a change room and there's an old man who takes off all his clothes and you're just like, you look at your friend and you start laughing. For a young girl to see that same type of older man do that same thing, I have no idea what that is. But that's, in my view, maybe it's because I grew up in the 90s. It's not supposed to, that shouldn't be happening. But, I really played this and I really focused on this clip because she's speaking out. She's finding her tribe. We're almost seeing it, not to say that she was like all liberal before, but you're almost seeing like a red pill moment with her right now. She's like, I've had enough. Because this is what happens to people. When they get attacked, like they see everything that's happening and they're able to call it out and they're able to see the nuance and everything and have the compassion, because that's what she's been. She's a very good woman. And then all of a sudden you get attacked, like severely attacked, because you're just wearing a hat. And then it's like, that's it. I'm done. She said it so many times. She's like, I don't care. Do it. You could hear the anger in her. Like she went past being just like a news presenter or a newscaster, whatever you would call her. She was just a pissed off woman right there who's just had enough. And you know what? Like she said, say it loud and say it proud, because you just don't know how many people are in your who have your same way of thinking until you say it out loud. You know? You don't want to sit inside an echo chamber, but you definitely want to find the people who are like-minded. Like every day I make videos and I find more and more people who are on the same line of thinking I am. And I find some who aren't. But like the more that I make these videos, the more I can find those people, you know? And when I start doing live videos, those people will be able to come. We're going to actually be able to talk. We're going to be actually able to converse for the most part, because there's going to be a lot of people talking in the chat and everything. But that's what you have to do. You got to, I tell people that all the time. You have to find your tribe, you know? Again, not to the echo chamber side of things, but when you feel like you're alone in something, it's so important to find your tribe. And that's what those people have done in that movement. You know, in a way, what's going on with the LGBTQ community is beautiful. They've found their tribe. The fact that they're trying to push all those ideologies on us is unfair, but it's beautiful that they've found a whole group of people who feel the same way and go through the same struggles. That's great. I'm looking for that in my world too. I want a big community of people who want to improve themselves, who want to seek the truth, who want to have conversation, who want to try and do it as maturely and civilized as possible. I want that too. And it's great that they found that. But we should be able to hear all parts. And in the past 3-4 years, that's what's been missing. We've only been allowed to hear one side of every argument. Throughout the pandemic, that's how it was. And when it comes to these topics, the topic that Megyn just touched on, that's how it's been as well. And it shouldn't be like that. So I'm so glad that she did this. And you know, silver lining and everything. It took her getting attacked for her to just come out and just say this. And there's probably hundreds of thousands of women who watch Megyn all the time and they're like, oh, I feel that way too. I should be able to speak about this too. And it doesn't open people up to violence, but it opens up those people who feel that way. It opens them up to being able to speak their mind. Why should one side of the conversation, of any debate, why should one side have to be in the dark? Why should one side have to be in the closet while the other one just gets to proudly flaunt around and everybody's loving and accepting of it? It's just unfair. And I love that Megyn just, I want to say turned the tables, or she like just evened it out a little bit, but whatever she did, it's great. But other than that, guys, I'm out. Let me know in the comments, what do you feel about what she did? Was it too aggressive? Was it too much? Do you think that she said a little too much just now? You think she went a little too hard? Like, what do you think in the comments? I think it was great because I love seeing a person speak their mind like that. She did it very eloquently. At times she was pissed off, but I've had people tell me in the comment sections, like, sometimes you got to get pissed off, you know? So let me know what you think in the comments. You know me, I'll be in the comments with you guys. Other than that, I'm out.